Hello students, this video is about question and answers of class 4th EVS chapters, that is chapter 2 plant adaptations. Section A, choose the correct option for each of the following. First question, which of these plants floats on water? Duckweed, moss, water lily, hydrilla. Answer is duckweed. So duckweed is the plant which floats on water. Answer for this one is option A, that is duckweed. Second question, which of the following is a xerophyte? Cactus, teak, pine, maple. Answer is cactus. So cactus is a xerophyte. Answer is cactus. Third one, plants that are adapted to grow in deserts have spines. Not thin stem, short roots, many leaves. Plants that are adapted to grow in deserts have spines. Fourth one, terrestrial plants are found in deserts, plains, mountains, all of these places. So answer is all of these places, because terrestrial plants are found in deserts, plains and mountains. Fifth question, an example of a non-green plant is, it is coral root. An example of a non-green plant is not cedar, Venus flytrap, oak. Answer is coal root. Section B, fill in the blanks with the correct words. First one, arrowhead is an example of emergent plant. Arrowhead is an example of emergent plant. Second one, mountain plants have dash leaves. Mountain plants have needle-like leaves. Mountain plants have needle-like leaves. Third one, mangroves grow in dash. Mangroves grow in marshy areas. Mangroves grow in marshy areas. Fourth one, dash traps and eats insects. That is pitcher plant. Answer is pitcher plant traps and eats insects. Pitcher plant traps and eats insects. Fifth one, non-green plants do not have dash. Chlorophyll. Non-green plants do not have chlorophyll. Sixth one, Cuscuta is a dash plant. Cuscuta is a parasitic plant. Cuscuta is a parasitic plant. Section C, match the following. You have to match column A with the column B. First one, pricky pear. It is a desert plant. Pricky pear is a desert plant. Pines are the mountain plant. Pines are mountain plant. Third, banyan. It grows in plains. Fourth one, rhizophora. Rhizophora is a mangroves. Rhizophora is a mangroves. And Venus flytrap, it is a insectivorous plant. Venus flytrap is a insectivorous plant. Section D, state whether the following statements are true or false. First one, water lily is a floating plant. Water lily is a floating plant. So this statement is false. Water lily is not a floating plant. Second one, terrestrial plants can grow both on land and in water. Answer is false. Terrestrial plants do not grow both on land and in water. Third one, deserts plant have thin stems. So this is false. Deserts plant have thin stems. False. Fourth one, the leaves of a deciduous trees are shed in autumn. The leaves of a deciduous trees are shed in autumn. True. Fifth one, plants growing in coastal areas cannot survive in water. False. Plants growing in coastal areas cannot survive in water. False. Section E, name the following. First one, plants having cones with seeds instead of flowers. Mountain plants. Plants having cones with seeds instead of flowers. Those are mountain plants. Second one, plants that trap and eat insects. Insectivorous plants. Plants that trap and eat insects. Insectivorous plants. Third one, plants that remain completely submerged in water. Aquatic plants. Plants that remain completely submerged in water. Aquatic plants. Fourth one, plants that absorb food from dead plants and animals. Plants that absorb food from dead plants and animals are non-green plants. Plants that absorb food from dead plants and animals are non-green plants. Fifth one, plants that grow on other plants and often harm them. Parasitic plants. Plants that grow on other plants and often harm them. Parasitic plants. Section F, give reasons for the following. First one, Indian pipe plays an important role in maintaining the balance in nature. Answer, because they absorb their food from dead and decaying plants. Because they absorb their food from dead and decaying plants and animals. Second one, duckweed has air-filled stems. Duckweed has air-filled stems. Answer, because they are floating plants. Duckweed has air-filled stems means because they are floating plants. Air-filled stem, air-filled stem helps to float on water. Air-filled stem helps to float on water. Third one, Avicennia plant has breathing roots. Avicennia plant has breathing roots. Answer, because it grows in marshy areas. This plant grows in marshy areas because it grows in a marshy areas, so they develop breathing roots. So they develop breathing roots which help to breathe. Which help to breathe. Fourth one, the edges of a pitcher plant is slippery. The edges of the pitcher plant is slippery. Answer, because the edges of the pitcher plants secrete the slippery substance. Secrete the slippery substance which helps the insects to slip. Which helps the insects to slip down in the picture. Slip down in the picture. Fifth one, the leaves of plants in mountain region are needle shaped and waxy. Answer, because the needle shaped and waxy leaves help the snow to slide off. Because the needle shaped and waxy leaves help the snow to slide off and prevents rotting of the plants. Prevents rotting of the plants. Section G. Answer the following questions briefly. First one, what is adaptation? What is adaptation? Answer, the special features acquired by an organism. The special features acquired by an organism to adjust itself in a habitat are called adaptation. The special features acquired by an organism to adjust itself in a habitat are called adaptations. Second one, give two adaptations of underwater plants. Answer, adaptation of underwater plants. Adaptation of underwater plants. First one, these plants have thin, narrow, ribbon-like leaves. These plants have thin, narrow and ribbon-like leaves. Second adaptation is, these plants do not bear flowers. These plants do not bear flowers. Third question, give two examples each of emergent plants and parasitic plants. Give two examples each of emergent and parasitic plants. Answer, emergent plants. Examples, bulrush, sedge. And the example of parasitic plants, cuscuta, mistletoe. Parasitic plants, cuscuta and mistletoe. Fourth question, why do desert plants have thick stems? Why do desert plants have thick stems? Answer, desert plants have thick stem to collect and store water. Desert plants have thick stem to collect and store water. Fifth one, why does a lotus plant have a long stem? Answer, lotus plants have a long stem to coil and uncoil according to the level of water. Lotus plants have a long stem to coil and uncoil according to the level of the water. Level of the water. Section H, answer the following questions. In that first one, what are the different types of aquatic plants? Give one example for each. Answer, different types of aquatic plants. Those are emergent plant, fixed plant, underwater plant, floating plant. So aquatic plants are emergent plant, second fixed plant, next underwater plant, floating plant. And it is asked, give one example for each. So I will make a table of these aquatic plants. Example of emergent plant is bulrush. Example of fixed plant is lotus. Example of underwater plant is pondweed. Example of floating plant is duckweed. Second question, list any two types of terrestrial plants and give one adaptation of each type. Answer, types of terrestrial plants. Types of terrestrial plants, that is plants in deserts and plants in plains. Types of terrestrial plants are plants in deserts and plants in plains. Now it is asked, list two types of terrestrial plants and give one adaptation of each type. So you will see the adaptation of each type. First is plants in deserts. These plants have green, thick and fleshy stem. These plants have green, thick and fleshy stem. And plants in plains, these plants have many branches. These plants have many branches with plenty of leaves and flowers. Plenty of leaves and flowers. Third one, how are parasitic plants different from insectivorous plants? How are parasitic plants different from insectivorous plants? Answer. First, I will make a table of both parasitic plants and insectivorous plants. Plants that grow on other plants and absorb nutrients from them are called parasitic plants. Plants that grow on other plants and absorb nutrients from them. Example of parasitic plants are cuscuta and mistletoe. Next, about insectivorous plants. Plants that feed on small insects for nutrients. Plants that feed on small insects for nutrients are called insectivorous plants. Example of insectivorous plants are pitcher plants and Venus flytrap. Venus flytrap. Fourth question. Discuss the adaptations of plants that grow in plains. Discuss the adaptations of plants that grow in plains. Answer. Adaptation of plants in plains. Adaptations of plants in plains. First point, they have many branches with plenty of leaves and flowers. They have many branches with plenty of leaves and flowers. Second point, some trees shed their leaves in autumn. Some trees shed their leaves in autumn, which grow back again during spring. Which grow back again during spring. Some trees shed their leaves in autumn, which grow back again during spring. Third point, some trees shed their leaves and grow new ones throughout the year. Some trees shed their leaves and grow new ones throughout the year. Fifth question. What are insectivorous plants? Explain with examples. Answer. The plants that feed on small insects for nutrition. The plants that feed on small insects for nutrition are called insectivorous plants. Are called insectivorous plants. Example: pitcher plant and Venus flytrap. These plants are found in a habitat where the soil is poor in nutrients. These plants are found in a habitat where the soil is poor in nutrients, or in thick forests where enough sunlight is not available to carry out photosynthesis. These plants are found in a habitat where the soil is poor in nutrients, or in thick forests where enough sunlight is not available to carry out photosynthesis. Thank you for watching the video. Like it and please subscribe my channel.